Hey everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. And welcome to the 44th episode, I believe, of my thrift store haul series. I literally looked up what episode number this would be before I started filming, but yet my memory sucks, so here we are. Anyway, that said, I have a stack of items over here. I have a couple of books, I have some Blu-rays, and some DVDs to talk about today. All items that I've picked up recently at the thrift store. So let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right into thrift store haul number 44. So let's get started with a couple of books I picked up, which I've talked about recently. I'm trying not to get a ton of books unless they are media tie-in, or recently comic books have just been going crazy for me. But anyway, I only paid $0.25 each for these, so I thought, you know what, might as well add them to the collection. First up here is part of a series that I started collecting, I don't even know, 5, 6, 7 years ago now. And I have a good number in my collection, but I've stopped because I haven't been reading them. But when I can get it for $0.25, I'm going to grab it. In such good shape, too. But this is CSI Crime Scene Investigation, Nevada Rose. And this is written by Jerome Priestler. So like I said, I do have a good number of these in my collection, probably somewhere around 10 or so at this point, which I don't know how many they made, but I know it's more than that. But that said, anytime I find these on the cheap, I tend to grab them. But you don't see them too very often. There's the 25 cents on the bottom there. But yeah, just a fun-looking series anyway, based on a show that I, of course, loved back in the day. I haven't watched CSI in, God, I don't even know how long now, but I used to really enjoy that show, as most people, you know, could probably say. But yeah, excited to find this one just because you never see them anymore. So happy to add Nevada Rose from the CSI series to the collection. So this next one is a double whammy because it is a graphic novel. It's part of the CSI series, and it's written by one of my favorite authors, Max Allan Collins. This is CSI Serial, and as you can see, by Max Allan Collins. So I had no idea that this was a graphic novel, which again, I paid $0.25 for, until I started skimming through it, and lo and behold, that's exactly what this is. That is so cool that this is just a random sized graphic novel, and it looks like that's compared to just a standard mass market paperback. It's just a little bit taller. There's a specific name for these, but I totally forget what it is right now. But anyway, yeah, so this is just such an awesome find. I'm very excited to read this one. I've been reading a ton of comics lately, and so I'm going to try to add this one to the list because I'm just curious on what Max Allan Collins, just a great author, is able to do with this. So very happy I was able to find this one. Never have seen this one out in the wild before. Didn't even know it existed. And so this was just a no-brainer at $0.25. Very happy to add CSI Serial to my graphic novel collection. Let's jump over to a couple of just standard single DVDs that I found. And this first one here is actually a part of the Criterion collection, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't own it there, and I thought this would be a cheap way to check it out. It's a Mad World. I think I did that right. I'm pretty sure there's 4 Mads in here. But this is a classic by a lot of accounts. And so as someone who's never seen this, I figured, you know what? Check out the DVD for however much it was, $1, $2, 50 cents. I don't even know at this point, but check this out and see if it's any good. And if it is, then I can just upgrade to that Criterion release. I really hope I'm not making that up. I'm fairly certain there's a Criterion release of this. I want to say that I saw Mike over at Movie Edge hauled that like a year or two ago now, which is why I think there is one. But anyway, yeah, just a kind of a race movie from what I understand it, a race around the world. So looking forward to checking it out. Spencer Tracy is in this one, so should be a good one. I don't even know who directs this. Stanley Kramer directs this one. Cannot wait to finally get around to this. It's a mad world. So this next one is kind of the complete opposite of a classic, one that would never touch the Criterion collection, but shout out to my buddy Kenny over at Kenny's Movie Palace. I feel like he would appreciate this. Frankly, he's probably already seen it, but this is Dune Drifter. Now, when you first look at this, you might be like me and think, is that an Asylum movie? And get really excited. Well, if you're weird like me anyway, you might get excited. But unfortunately, this one is not. This is from Phase 4 Films. So because it's not Asylum, I have very low expectations, but I can't pass this up. Obviously, this is doing a mockumentary style, right? Just like Asylum does of Dune. So I have to see it. I just have to see it. I don't know. Kenny, if you've seen this one and you're watching, let me know if it's any good or not. I have very low expectations, but we will see. And the reason I call it Kenny is because Kenny is a big Asylum fan, just like myself, but he does other ones that are similar to the Asylum as well, and I'm just thinking Dune Drifter feels right up his alley. But anyway, I will leave a link to his channel down in the comments below, and Mike over at Movie Edge. Check out both their channels. But anyway, this one here is Dune Drifter with slipcover and everything. I literally just hit me. I was done, but then it just hit me. I remember this one when it came out at Walmart. I was still doing that like $10 DVD challenge at Walmart to see if there was anything good, and this was one that I considered grabbing at that point. But glad I waited, because I don't think this one is going to be worth even $10. This is Dune Drifter. I was also able to find a few box sets at my local Salvation Army, and this was actually before they changed the prices. So these were all 50 cents each, which is just insane. Nowadays, a DVD is $1, a box set's like $2 or $3, and Blu-rays are $3. So they used to be $2 for $1 for everything. So I'm happy I got these before those price changes. But anyway, great finds for a thrift store. First up here, we have V, the complete series. So this one is a series from, I want to say the 70s or 80s. I can't remember exactly. But I've never seen this before. I do own, I want to say it's like either the movie that kicked this off or the movie that ended it. I don't know. I have another V-related show in my collection that I've yet to see. But I think this one, I want to say this came first, so I need to watch this one first. But yeah, let me know if you guys like this one. I want to say it was pretty popular back when it first came out, and I know they did a remake or a reboot of it, I want to say in the 2000s, but I can't remember for sure. But yeah, I thought it was interesting, and for 50 cents, I mean, there was no way this was staying behind. So pretty cool looking release. You do have some flipper discs there, but yeah, so hopefully this one will be enjoyable when I get around to it. And this person, whoever this is, this 3P, they dropped off a bunch of stuff that day, and fortunately, I was able to grab some of it. But anyway, this is V, the complete series. Another one courtesy of 3P here, and a really cool find for a thrift store. This is Alfred Hitchcock Presents Season 1. So I have seen a number of episodes from that, a very small amount, maybe 2 or 3, because I remember renting this on DVD from Netflix way back in the day because I wanted to check it out. And I don't remember loving it because I was expecting more sci-fi, and this one leans a bit more suspense. So it wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but now I know what to expect going in. And so I'm just excited to own it and revisit it again. I don't remember exactly how many seasons there were of this, but hey, I have season 1 now, so I can start there. But yeah, this is cool. Of course, it is just a anthology series where Hitchcock is the host. He plays like the Rod Serling character from Twilight Zone, which is one of my all-time favorite TV shows. So happy to have anything anthology in the collection. This will go right alongside Twilight Zone, like I already talked about, and Outer Limits as well. So happy to have Alfred Hitchcock Presents Season 1. I can't even tell you how excited I was to come across this next DVD box set because I just referenced it in a video maybe a week, 2 weeks before I happened to find it at my local thrift store because I picked up these on VHS, and I said I probably won't get this version of these just because I don't need them, but when you find them for 50 cents, of course I'm going to add them to my collection. This is the Back to the Future trilogy, or I should say Back to the Future, the complete trilogy. And I talked about it in my VHS pickup video because this is the one I'm most nostalgic for. This is how I first watched these movies. Now, at least that I can remember. At least it's the first way I owned them. Maybe I watched them on VHS at my uncle's house or something back in the day, but this is how I owned them for the first time. And so I was so thrilled to come across this in the wild, and not having to pay up for it was even better if I can get it out here. But yeah, it's in remarkably good shape. Again, it has the 3P on the back, but pretty good shape for what it is. And there's just so many bonus features on this. I'm sure all of them are already on my 4K of it, but either way, like, it's just so nostalgic. And is it a waste of space on the shelf? Yeah, absolutely 100%. But man, sometimes there's just room for this. I remember the Christmas that my mom and dad bought me this on DVD, and I loved it ever since. And they're just some of my favorite movies. So I'm keeping these in the collection for the time being. This is Back to the Future, the complete trilogy on DVD. Not only did 3P leave DVD box sets at the thrift store, he also dropped off some Blu-rays. So I'll show all three of these together because they're all part of the same series. I was so excited to come across these as well. And again, 50 cents. Such a good deal. Can't pass these up. I picked up Spartacus Blood and Sand on Blu-ray, but not just this one. I also grabbed Vengeance on Blu-ray, and then finally Gods of the Arena on Blu-ray. $1.50 for all three seasons of this. Now, I want to say this is the entire series, but I'm not 100% sure. Let me know if you know down below. But I think I talked about this before. I never watched this all the way through, but my buddy did. He was a huge fan of this show back when it was airing, I think on, Stars, okay. I was going to say Showtime, but I guess it was on Stars. And he loved them back in the day, always tried to get me to watch it. And I watched a number of episodes, and I thought it was very good. I didn't have Stars at the time, and so I had no way to watch it. But yeah, lots of blood in this from what I remember, and very adult, I guess I'll say. But yeah, very happy to find these. And I don't know if I'll get around to them anytime soon, but hey, they're in the collection now, so I can watch them anytime I want. And this is just a cool ad for $1.50. So we have Spartacus, Blood and Sand, which I believe is the first season, Vengeance, which is I think the second season, and then Gods of the Arena, which I think is the third season, but let me know if I'm wrong. So yeah, happy to have all three of these in the collection now. And last but not least today is actually a Blu-ray 3D pickup. I found this one just the other day at my, not the same thrift store as this one, so it was a little bit more expensive, but still a pretty good price for what this is. This is Shrek, the Complete Collection in 3D. You won't be able to read it because whoever writes these price tags on at this thrift store, they have the worst handwriting, but it's $7 essentially. And so a pretty good deal for, 4 movies in 3D, but not only 4 in 3D, because on the inside, the person, this is what all the discs look like for Shrek, but they also left in Puss in Boots in the back. That one's not 3D, but hey, it's a free Blu-ray to go along with it. So I actually got 5 movies for the price of this one here. So yeah, I own these, of course, on the, I think it's the big box set that they have on Blu-ray, but now I have it in 3D as well, which is just fun to have. So yeah, cannot wait to check these out to see if the 3D is worth it or not. Cool find. And the last one for today, Shrek 3D, the Complete Collection. All right, so there it is, the 44th episode of my thrift store hauls, and a pretty darn fun stack of movies and TV shows, if I do say so myself. That said, I have currently, as of filming anyway, I have one more stack over there, and that one has a ton of Blu-rays as well, plus arguably my greatest thrift store find ever. That'll be in episode 45 whenever I decide to do that one. So definitely check back to the channel for that, and subscribe so you don't miss it in case you're interested. But that said, guys, thank you so much for checking this out. Leave any thoughts and comments down below. I appreciate all that support. But before I let you go, I'll just encourage you all to consume some media today. Thanks again for watching, and I will catch you all next time.